What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to CM Aviation. Hope you're on a fantastic day today. Today I have a very exciting model review for you all. Today we're going to be taking a look at the Phoenix models 1 to 400 scale United Airlines Boeing 777-200ER in the Evo Blue livery. I'm very excited for this aircraft. I've been trying to track one of these down for several years at this point. It's a really special aircraft to me, and I'll kind of describe why as we unbox this. But nevertheless, let's just go ahead and take a look. So you got Boeing 777-200ER over here, and Phoenix has been making so many cool US releases lately. You can see here with the box design, they got the Evo going strong. Here's the CGI United. It's November 78004 in the 1 to 400 scale. Now, this aircraft's really special as I first flew this as my first ever wide body coming home from Airliners International 2022 in Chicago, from Chicago to Denver. And ever since, I've flown several of these, I think at least 5 now. Between Chicago and Denver several times. I've flown one from Houston to Denver, and I think a couple others even too. So yeah, this is a really cool aircraft, and again, I'm really excited to have this. I think that this is a really cool asset and definitely will look nice at great planes in the various airports. So with that being said, we're not gonna waste any further time and unbox one of my favorite wide bodies today, not even close. So yeah, very special, and anytime you can get these for, you know, I think I've even got one of them for like 50 bucks, but you know, $100 pretty routinely. So most recently, as of filming this, very happy to have the memory there flying with JJ and Anderson on the flight from Denver to Chicago. That was an absolute blast with those guys, and I'm sure JJ's trip report's going to be coming out soon, and Anderson's as well. So definitely check out those trip reports when they come out. They are going to be amazing. With that said, let's go ahead and take a look here at this aircraft, everybody. So very excited to have this aircraft. This is definitely a really good one, and overall this is a really good piece of the puzzle. Yeah, just really special, like I said, for all the reasons I mentioned. And this is definitely a cool aircraft for so many different aspects, and really excited to get to use it all throughout. So with that said, we won't waste any further time and go ahead and take a look at the actual aircraft itself. And this is the first time in our review we have the layover layouts board appearing. This is actually a sample that they had at AI 2025 that I was fortunate enough to get to take home. So yeah, the mats are for sale that have this really cool design on it. So definitely take a look at that, and we'll be doing more work with layover layouts very soon. So stay tuned if you're interested. With that being said, let's go ahead and get started. Here's the cockpit windows here along with the nose cone. Just overall very intricate, very outstanding detail in so many places. The Phoenix 777 mold's immaculate. Star Alliance logo, connecting people, united the world. Here's the nose landing gear, and of course you have the metallic rim, very iconic to Phoenix models aircraft. You have the nose landing gear door as well, and it has the number prefix there too, so we absolutely love that. You got the navy blue cheat line, which goes up and throughout. And then you got the first class up here, and you get the United Airlines billboard titles there as well. They look really strong, and maybe just a little bit dark on the blue, but it's not a complaint, obviously, just an observation. I think it turned out really good, and I think they did a very nice job, so very happy with how it turned out. Let's go ahead and continue. So yeah, obviously you have the 777s that fly domestically, which is what I've flown a bunch of, and they got the dorm room seats in the front, and then you get the way nicer international ones, which have the Polaris cabin and the really nice economy seats. But obviously you got the L2 door right here, and you got the antenna along with the Wi-Fi box there, and then you can't see it very good. Actually, you might be able to get just a smidge of it there, that stub antenna right above that engine, but we'll get a better look momentarily. And then of course you got the overwing here where you have the economy plus, and then we transition into economy. Here's the engines, they look very nice. Same story, that dark navy. It seems a little bit better on the tail, but on this portion of the engine, or the Evo blue I should say, obviously seems a little dark, but not the end of the world. Let me go ahead and move it on over so you all can kind of see the casting of it. And yeah, it's definitely a smaller casting than the Gemini, JC, NG molds, but I think it looks pretty solid still. No complaints, just an observation, of course. You got the main landing gear down there as well. We'll get a better look at those. They do pivot, which is awesome. And they also have the metallic rims, which is really cool as well. You got the slats there, and I'll give you a better look here at the flaps and speed brakes. And there's the better look. Overall strong, not the craziest indentation in the world for the flaps, but, or sorry, for the speed brakes I should say, but it's pretty decent. Especially if you look across the wing over there, you'll really get a better view of what I'm getting to there. Of course, none of this is a problem. This model is honestly really nice. I think it has marginal issues at worst. But yeah, you got a couple more pieces here, and then you got the gray Wi-Fi box, which is pretty cool. You got the L3 door, and then you got the navy, or sorry, Evo blue cheat line, which comes all throughout and then it curves up, so that's pretty solid. And yeah, definitely a very nice looking plane in those regards. But you got a couple more panel details. 1, 2, 3 antennas, and then again the registration here as we finish up the main cabin. I'm set here several times. There's the last row here, 37. There's a 2-seat gym here. I really recommend this seat. It's a great view off the wing, as you can see from the counterpart, and then you also get the 2-seat, which is really nice. And then there's also one here in the front, but it's always sold as Economy Plus. But yeah, you got the registration November 78004, and then you get the L4 door, and I've sat back here a couple times as well. And yeah, that's been a nice experience too, so certainly can't complain about that. I think I've flown 4 of these. I think 4 is the number. I might be wrong, but definitely looking to fly more soon, so hopefully it will work into the schedule. Let's go ahead and take a look here at the right side of the aircraft. Here's kind of a full panorama look around, and these boards do a great job providing easy access to that. I remember my first reviews where I was just, pivoting. But this community is strong, and we're very fortunate for that. So here's the right side. You just had the 2 cargo doors here, one there and one in the back here, and you got the baggage door there as well. So yeah, all that detail came together nicely, and certainly happy with the results and how all that's looking. So very happy to see all that right there. Top of the aircraft's looking quite nice. Again, some indentations throughout, so certainly looking strong. Bottom, you have the stand hole, no Phoenix logo, so I'm sure that's for trademark purposes. And you do have that stub antenna that I was describing. Let me zoom it in quite a ways here, and you can see what I'm talking about. So yeah, nice to see those antennas, and landing and landing gear do pivot pretty nicely, so you can see that there. So you can put it landing, taking off, any position that you'd like. So yeah, this is a really cool aircraft, and I would highly recommend it. Again, very special aircraft to me, particularly as I've flown a good handful of these United 777s, and definitely very fortunate to now get to represent this in the collection. It'll look really good at the Great Plains Model Airport, so very excited for United to continue to get their level up there. I'm already imagining it there over there by Air New Zealand on that last gate before it rounds the corner on the rotunda, so you can bet that in the update when this debuts, it will be featured there, so very happy to even think about that. I mean, it's just awesome. Think about all the possibilities that come with these model aircraft, and they're really fun. So yeah, at some point I'm sure we'll review the recent 787-8 that I got, and -9 SAF for sure. So I got quite a few good models here that I'll be reviewing though in the coming weeks, so you can stay on the lookout for those. They'll be very exciting videos. But with that said, I really hope all of you enjoyed the review on this special aircraft. Again, very special one. I've flown it many times, and finally glad to have the 1-400. I've been after it for 3 years pretty much flat now, and glad that it finally worked. It was always really a missing piece. I had 333s, 789s, 767s, and I just never found a way to get a 222. Gemini did it 5 years ago, but obviously, I was balancing my collection, didn't get it at that time. That mold was a little tough anyway. And now we are here with the Phoenix release, and very glad that it finally worked out to get this aircraft. So collectible shows are awesome. No exception here with this release, and certainly feeling fortunate to have it. With that being said, that'll do it for today's video, everybody. Thank you all so much for watching. Take it easy, everybody. Stay safe. Trust the process. Do you love and love you do? My name is CM Aviation. I want to thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you all soon as CM Aviation is signing off.